Hello and welcome back to the Sad Alcoholic Kitchen. My name is Matt. I'm a sad alcoholic, and this is my kitchen. Today we're going to be making gołąbki for my buddy Johnny. He was incredible enough to give me his grandmother's recipe from the old country. Hopefully I can do her proud and do everything right. Sounds delicious. I've never had it before. I've only seen it eaten by a couple Polish coworkers that I have, but I'm really excited to dig into it. The first thing we're going to do is make some rice, because this recipe calls for cooked rice. And then shortly after, we'll be boiling some water so we can boil the cabbage that we're going to use to wrap all the meat up. So let's get started on that. Alright, I think by now you guys know how I make my rice. Do pop in the rice cooker. Classic. White rice will be when it's done, and then we're gonna go get started with boiling the cabbage. Got my big old pot here I'm gonna use to boil the cabbage. We're gonna cut the core out of here so it cooks a little easier. It's easy to pull apart when it's ready. And I think I'm probably gonna end up using this same pot that I'm boiling cabbage in to cook all the gołąbki in. So we'll start on this, put it on high, and I'll core the cabbage and we'll get started on boiling it. If you didn't know anything about Johnny, he's, I guess, technically the newest member in our clan, I think. He's a pretty cool guy, though. He's pretty good at the game. I think he's a pretty solid team member to have if you're doing PvP or PvE. I don't know a whole lot about him, but pretty fun having talks and conversations with him. He's a pretty cool guy. I like him. Alright, we got our water boiling. It might be a little too hot. I'll turn it down a little bit. We're going to throw our cored cabbages in as they cook. We'll peel the leaves off, throw them in a separate container so we can get ready to wrap the meat mixture into them. Cooking this cabbage is a lot easier than I kind of expected. For some reason I thought it would be a lot trickier than it is, but it's actually really straightforward. You put it in there, boil it. Once it starts to get soft, it just kind of falls right off the head in whole big pieces, which is just going to be perfect for wrapping up the meat. I got one head done. I'm working on the second one. I kind of figured once it got small enough, I can't really, it's a little too small to make it a little gołąbki out of that, so I'll end up chopping this up and throwing it over the top, and we cook the rest of it up. Alright, we got our cabbage all done. Now, the rice is actually done too, so everything is good to start. We got the ground pork, the ground beef. We're gonna chop some onions, mince some garlic, salt, pepper, paprika, get that mixed together, and we can get that all wrapped up inside our cabbage leaves. We got everything in the bowl. We're gonna get it all mixed together, and then, yeah, we're gonna fill up all those leaves up. Alright, we finally got our cabbage leaves. We're gonna, for pretty much all of these, we're going to be cutting the vein down so there's not this huge tough part that you're going to have to chew through later. We're going to trim it down, kind of cut it down the middle so it's easier to wrap up. Add the meat mixture, and we're going to layer it all in this, and then we'll come to that step when we get to it. We got all our gołąbki wrapped up. We covered in all the extra shavings, all the leftover cabbage that we had. We're going to throw some sauerkraut that we had in there and some diced tomatoes over the top of it. And I think I'll throw, I had some leftover cabbage leaves. I'll throw some over the top so it doesn't get too dehydrated or anything. We'll cook that for, it's at 425 now, but we'll turn it down when we cook it. And it'll be ready in like an hour, hour and a half. We'll see how it tastes. We got our extra cabbage. We put some diced tomatoes over the top. We're gonna get that in order. And now all that's left is put the cabbage on top, make sure everything doesn't burn or lose too much moisture. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I kind of doubled the recipe by my own kind of hubris, maybe, stupidity. It called for half a pound of ground beef and ground pork, but I could only find 1 pound increments. And I just kind of doubled everything else, so it's maybe a little way too much, but I think it'll be really tasty, and we'll finish everything. It'll be alright. We got it covered. We're gonna cover it again. We're gonna turn it down a little bit, maybe 375, cook it for an hour, hour and a half, and then we'll see how it turns out when it gets out. It's in the oven. We turn it down at 375. We'll take it out when it's ready. Let's get the rest of this all cleaned up so we have a clean kitchen when we're done, because there's nothing worse than a dirty kitchen when you're done cleaning or done cooking. Alright, it's been a little longer than probably it should be. I like things let them stew a little longer than they should. I feel like it makes it taste a little better. We're gonna take this out and we're gonna take a taste. I'm really excited. Alright, we got it at the oven. Let's take the lid off, see what it looks like. Oh, those lettuce leaves are maybe a little burnt, which is probably a good thing we put them on. I don't want the actual food to get burnt. I can't wait to unload it and get it on a plate. Alright, we got all this together. The first one I pulled out, the meat kind of fell out of it. So I went and grabbed another one and took the meat that came out of it in the first place. I cannot wait to dig into this. It smells so good. Also looks amazing. Alright, we got the gołąbki here ready to go. I'm not sure if I did it right, but it smells amazing, it looks amazing. We're gonna cut in here. It's about the consistency of cooked cabbage, I would say. I could probably do better with a knife and 2 hands, but you know. We got some meat and some cabbage. It might be a little hot. I did just kind of take it out of the oven. If I could get on the fork, that'd be cool. Oh, I'm struggling. Sorry, Johnny. Alright, let's get some meat, some cabbage together. Blow on a little. Into the mouth. Oh my god. It's actually really good. I probably could have put a little more salt in it. But overall, wow. With the tomato and the sauerkraut, that's really good. So yeah, this has been gołąbki. It is amazing. Tastes great. Actually blown away. Johnny, your grandma has an amazing recipe. Yeah, if anyone else has something they want me to cook, I'm open to it. If it's amazing as this, I will definitely try it. See you on the next one. I cleaned my plate. Honestly, I cannot stop. Johnny, your grandma's recipe is so good. It tastes amazing. It's gonna last me a long time, and that is perfect because it tastes so good. I will keep making it in the future with your blessing. But yeah, it's really good. It's amazing. I will not stop eating it. It's a permanent spot in my arsenal right now. Amazing. I love it.